be seeing. Wow, that guy's hitting every single shot. Interesting. This has made it a lot more difficult. I mean, I've never taken this long for this mission. I've done this now about 10 times, this mission, just on normal without this AI mod. And it never takes this long. Usually this guy runs directly up to you and it's a super easy kill. And you can see here, that's not the case here. I mean, my mech is a lot more beat up than his is. That PPC, God, he's kiting me. He's doing what he's supposed to. I mean, again, this is the behavior. Like, it may be annoying, but we're very effective. I don't know what word to use here. We're gonna take that arm though, because that thing needs to go.
Critical.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Phil here, and we are back for another episode of the Mechwarrior 5 playthrough utilizing mods. By the way, any mods that I am utilizing, I will have a link down below for the direct download. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments down below as well. Like say again, welcome back. And let's go ahead and dive in here and see what Rihanna has to say after our last mission takedown.
Hi, Commander. Thanks to your efforts, the mining company have kept their word and booked us transport on a jump ship. Spears has also obtained a new mercenary ID number. So, all we need to do now is choose a new name for our merc outfits, and we're good to go. I'll leave that up to you. Once you've registered the new name, come back and see me.
Will do.
All right, so now we just gotta go over here, private only. We gotta select a merc company name. Nothing on screens, don't worry, it's shut down. Nyx Cavaliers. This is actually something that I would assume is going to be moddable in the future via just PGI's updates, I would assume. And right now you can't change your insignia, your logo, if you will, of your company. You can't change the name here. But as far as the logo and or your like leopard colors or anything like that, you can't do. So it's something I'd like to see in the future. I think that'd be cool, but for right now, just sort of understand that you can't change it. So right now, we'll just come up with something a little bit intriguing for, well, let's just say this YouTube playthrough. Let's keep it simple, shall we? NGNG Combat Battalion. I think that works. Bam, NGNG Combat Battalion. All right, we gotta speak to Rihanna again. Go back up here. By the way, that's like the only time you ever utilize your captain's quarters.
Okay, Commander. Everything is set for our departure. The transport contract with the mining company is a false flag Spears and I set up with their cooperation. The mining company has legally hired us to transport cargo for them. But in reality, there is no cargo. Just a destination and some very confusing
relationship
paperwork.
built on lies.
So, where are we headed?
We've been asked by Spears to help him out of a jam. I think we owe him.
I agree. What's he need us to do?
Spears works for Interstellar Expeditions, one of the largest archaeological collectives in the Inner Sphere. They do archaeological digs and conduct research into abandoned Star League-era facilities in the pursuit of lost technology from before the Succession Wars. One of the expedition's dig sites has come under attack. A rogue mercenary group is intent on pillaging a Star League supply depot that IE uncovered on Brookland Prime. We're going in to help protect the site. Spears will provide more detailed information on what exactly we're facing once we arrive. For now, I've uploaded the coordinates into the nav system. Before we can launch, you need to sign off on the op and get us to the system.
Roger that.
All right. I always think it's funny how like everything always has to do with like Star League, Defense Force, tech. But that's the world we live in. So let's go ahead and get rolling here, shall we? Of course, the next one is going to be Last Man Standing. We're going to go ahead and click on that. Situation's dire, Commander. The Merc outfit Spears hired to protect the dig site has taken heavy losses and can't hold out much longer. You need to get down there to the surface and reinforce them before the last of their defense crumble. Unfortunately, I have no idea what you're going into Unfortunately, I have no idea what you're going to drop into, so you may be coming in hot. Once on the ground, the objective is simple. Stave off the enemy attacks until additional reinforcements arrive. They're counting on you, Commander. Hold the line. Yeah, no pressure. None at all. Let's go ahead. Travel. This is actually a really cool thing that I do like. Obviously, I don't think a dropship moves quite like that and or as fast acceleration. This is a cool scene. I actually like how it uses the jets. I think it'd be a little bit slower, but maybe an automated system is really quick. But for this purposes, I think it looks just fine. It's very similar to HBS on how they have it. Dramatic sound effects. So that's a jump ship. By the way, if you're watching, you have really no idea. The jump ship actually, those rigging at the back actually unfurl a gigantic solar, basically panels, synthetic cloth, if you will. It's black. It's like blacker than space, and that collects the sunlight and charges the drives that allow the jump ship to jump 30 light years at a time. Anyways, details, nerds. Let's go ahead and check this out. All right, we've got 3 negotiation points. Again, not a whole lot going on here. 3 salvage points is never going to be, or in this case 4 is never going to be enough for like a mech, so I'm not really worried about that. Difficulty is pretty low, 7 days. So again, this is actually really cool for future reference. Warzone contracts, when you have multiple potential deployments in a row, you could potentially repair your mechs and go in there manually and repair them. So, you know, they only take about 7 days or 6 days. So when you come out, normally those mechs wouldn't be repaired. They could be repaired and you can use them again. It's actually really nice. Morning, nothing crazy here. Looks like we're going up against mercenaries. Objective simple, hold off forces. So let's go dive in here, shall we? Right, we got the trusty Centurion. All right, so we do have a friendly blackjack, pretty beat up over here. Let's see if we can save him, shall we? Nope. I don't think that's gonna happen. Maybe, just maybe, if we could crest here. Got him. Ooh, hold on. 1, 2. Got their attention. Nope, wrong button. And AC-10. Laser. Miss again. Wow, that was super bad. Oh my gosh. Potato aim. What are you doing, Phil? That's actually one thing. Wow, we're taking a lot of more damage than we should here. All right. All right, we'll have a chance to repair.
Proceed to the dig site. Looks like the hostiles have launched another attack wave.
One thing I would have really liked to see is like vehicles and enemies actually like utilize like military, like flanking and stuff.
Straight ahead.
A lot of the times you'll just see they just sort of pop in or whatever. It's not like VTOLs or anything like use range or like kite or anything. But what you are seeing now with mods, and one of those being the AI mod, is that units are starting to do those things where hit and run tactics and so forth. And it definitely makes games, well, a lot more challenging. That's for dang sure. Come in here. See VTOLs. I don't know what they're doing. They're just chilling, hanging out.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
Not really much of a threat.
Target destroyed.
Fortunately, this is really your only reliable weapon against VTOLs, especially at the range. You're just not hitting them.
Target acquired.
AC-10. There we go. There's one. We do have a repair bay here. This is actually one of the missions that showcases it. And unfortunately, this mission will be the last time you see that until basically the end of the campaign. This has actually been a critique, just like the crates. You actually don't utilize some of these things they introduced, and it seems like it's sort of like after the fact. One of the issues I've had with Mechwarrior 5 is like I actually don't mind them throwing more units at you. The problem is it just becomes a basically attrition game of where you can't sustain it in lighter mechs, and you have to bring heavier mechs. And if you don't, well, you're just going to take absurd amounts of damage. So all they basically do is they throw mechs at you, and then increase those mechs as far as skill. That's basically it. That's all. The skill, and that's, you know, what can hit you and what can't. And so you can only take so much damage.
Spear send you?
Oh, there you go. There's
Yeah,
our
said you guys needed
Jenner
some
pilot.
reinforcements.
Another thing that we're about to see here is the ability to turn on turrets. And this is yet another skill where this is the only mission that you're ever going to see this on.
Holding them off as best I
And
can,
to me, it's just sort of one of those things where it's pretty low-hanging fruit, and I wouldn't be surprised if PGI does do that in the future.
we've got your back.
But at least for right now,
Appreciate that.
it's one of those where it only shows up in this mission. Literally, this is the only mission that you turn turrets on, which again reminds me a lot of like Mech Commander-esque stuff, to where
They'll be coming back soon enough. Like I said, they
if that
attack in waves.
could have been there. By the way, there's the Mech Repair Bay. It pops up. It's a one use only. It shows up right here that you can use it once, and or yeah. Technically, your lance mate can use it, but I've only used it while using co-op. I actually haven't used it with AI lance mates.
You want to try cycling it back on?
Here you go. Boom. That's it. And the turrets here are like that.
Turrets are now online and active.
There's really not a whole lot as far as I know. There's, again, here's the spawning system.
Inbound.
Just spawns it.
Looks like a mix of
And-
airborne and enemy armor, Commander.
Again, it's not like it uses any strategy here. It's not like they change elevation. It's not like they try to come at you and flank you and so forth. It's one of those where, again, they actually tend to bounce off each other, which is sort of funny. Just tried firing. Oh, it was there. That was poor bad. There we go. And yeah, that's sort of, unfortunately, that's sort of the depth of the AI in use of these air units, and really that's it. And that's your experience here. Now with the AI mods coming out and being altered, I don't know if that is being adjusted by itself. I really don't know. That's something I'll reach out to the creator of and see if they are altering any of the AIs for the VTOLs. But and it's specifically tanks as well. I mean, you know, if you're a tank, you really don't want to mess with mechs. You don't want to play by the rules, I would say. You want to use hit and run. You want to stay at those range. Scorpion tanks are really nasty at range. They, you know, especially the accuracy with that AC5.
Nice shooting.
Go. Right? It doesn't serve their purpose, and it's probably been one of the, I would say, harder vehicles to actually engage. I would say Scorpion's almost more dangerous than some mechs because they can be at, you know, pretty long range, 700 meters, and be pretty accurate. And I actually like that. I love the whistling that you hear over your head as the rounds and stuff like that. But again, I have no problem with more like this, waves upon waves. And this is the only mission, again, where that repair bay is, it's down there by the way, is ever brought to light. And so I feel, and I'm hoping that either PGI will do it or modders will do it. But as far as the campaign, this is the only time. But here's my real question is, I really feel like there's a lot of potential there for co-op. I mean, am I not the only one that sees this? With these, the abilities to turn on turrets or maybe gates and stuff like that. Why not have those? That's definitely odd. See, again, it's just like they're just awkward. I think that's the best word. Anyways, co-op. I just feel like it's a untapped potential for co-op. The ability to have turrets and have to go run around and power up turrets, or to be able to open gates, or what about sensors? What about radar? You know, like really add some of the Mech Commander-esque elements, or yeah, not even Mech Commander, just Mechwarrior elements that we've seen in the past, right? I mean, we've seen these things be used.
Target destroyed.
And this is all you gotta do. Run up and bam. We've got a few turrets here.
Target
I don't know
acquired.
how much they help, but let's see here.
Target destroyed. destroyed.
Bam, bam. All right, turrets doing some work. All right.
Target destroyed.
Nothing too fancy. No huge calliope turrets like we had in Mech 4 that would just wreck your face if you weren't careful. It's also another thing, what would be nice is some type of imaging. Now that we have the scale and it gets brought down, sometimes it's hard to see the vehicles. Sometimes the UI gets in the way as well. But yeah, I feel like co-op could really, there's some cool ideas out there. I mean, other games have some really cool co-op modes, and I think we could see some of that being transferred to this game. Like what co-op games out there, co-op modes? I mean, even though I know a lot of people hate on BRs, the idea of like a BR would be pretty, you know, I mean, unique as far as a Mechwarrior title. See, that's what I'm saying. See how that tank's hitting? By the way, we can get repairs here. That's what I like. Now that's a recruit skilled vehicle. See how hard that is? I mean, even with advanced zoom, it's very difficult. This is where targeting computers would be really cool. I'm happy to report that Naveed is working on a mech lab that will feature a lot of new and improved equipment.
Target acquired.
I'm gonna point that out. Even with the velocity increase here, you can see that I'm still missing some rounds here. You can see the difficulty sometimes of, you know, like not knowing where to, especially with vehicles, if they're turning, if they're changing direction, you know, where are they facing? You don't really know.
Target destroyed.
Go. And is there one more? No, he's dead. All right, so whatever is there. So here's the Mech Repair Bay. We only use this, like I said, twice in the entire campaign. A heads up. I feel like this, again, it could be a resource. It could be something they have on special missions or a vehicle that comes out. Much like Mechwarrior 3 where you had the mobile refit facility. That would be really cool. Or if you're used to Mech Commander, this sort of looks like it. It sort of, the screen goes blank, so I don't really know what's going on there. I don't know if there's a reason why they're doing that. By the way, if you lose a limb, that does not repair that. So just a heads up. And internal structure, I don't believe is also repaired, but just to verify. And that's gonna go away, and you can't use it again. You can't, I don't know if it works with AI, so we'll have to make some testing there. But I just feel like there's a lot of untapped potential there for co-op play. And looks like there's a vehicle that's stuck over here, so we're gonna go help that vehicle get unstuck. Looks like we got a friendly unit that's doing it. Are you able to kill him? I have actually seen this happen a few times. Dig site health is at 42, so not the best. Don't worry, it's not going to affect the outcome here. Okay, maneuver over here on the left flank. Be aggressive. There he is, and the AI is stuck.
Dropship approaching,
Okay,
Commander.
go.
Looks like they're bringing in the heavy guns.
There's a dropship. Deaccelerating very quick. The circle of 8. I'm terrified by that name choice, sir. Yes, I'm quaking in my boots.
They're fielding 2 medium mechs.
Oh no. Oh no, it'll be all right.
Harder they fall. Let's go get them.
Yeah, so there's that. Now you are gonna see these mechs utilizing jump jets, and I have found this does make the game more difficult. Merely just because, well, you can't necessarily know where they're gonna go. As you can see, the jump jets, there is some adjustments, and I do need to update since he's been working hard at it. But one of the things that roles or AI and roles, and what's really difficult is, right, depending. Mechs don't have predetermined roles. The roles are determined on what weapon systems. Well, I should say, because there are no roles. But think of it this way: like, wow, that was a horrible shot. If you're a locust and you only have medium lasers, there's only so much you can do, right? Like, you have to close in, right? So is that a role? I don't think really that's a role, right? That's just you being able to utilize your weapons. But hit and run, stuff like that. Also, I've noticed the AI tends to jump a lot and hurt their legs, and then their legs become vulnerable. But you can see here, what he's doing is he's attacking and then he's fading away. which is really annoying sometimes, which is good, right? But I feel like what needs to happen is it just be smart, right? I feel like
Acquired.
if this mech has a PPC and LRM-10, he should stay at long range. He should never want you to get, and that may be, you know, like the recruit level should just mean he doesn't hit you as often. But they should be able to, again, he's staying at range here, which I think maybe that's how he's supposed to operate. But you wouldn't want to get close range. If anything, you want to avoid. You want to go for the high ground, right? I mean, so kudos to this mod. And if you haven't checked this out, again, I'll have a link down below. 180. That's a bad shot. Go. You also don't think the AI should be legging themselves. Let's see if they take leg damage. Okay, they didn't take leg damage that time. He isn't moving. Did he shut down? Now, they also have a skill system in here and how much damage you do based on energy missile. All right, he's gonna take leg damage here. Yeah, see, he is actually staying at range. And again, this is where I could see this being really difficult for maybe a newer player that doesn't know, or you know, it finds it difficult leading targets, especially like in the air. Like I don't even know how to lead targets in the air. It's very difficult, and he is trying to keep that 400 meters. So
Critical.
my shot's a little bit behind. Need to go. And you can see here, I do have a friendly mech, and the friendly mech is nowhere to be seen. Wow, that guy's hitting every single shot. Interesting. This has made it a lot more difficult. I mean, I've never taken this long for this mission. I've done this now about 10 times, this mission, just on normal without this AI mod. And it never takes this long. Usually this guy runs directly up to you, and it's a super easy kill. And you can see here, that's not the case here. I mean, my mech is a lot more beat up than his is. That PPC, God, he's kiting me. He's doing what he's supposed to. I mean, again, this is the behavior. Like, it may be annoying, but we're very effective. I don't know what word to use here. We're gonna take that arm though, because that thing needs to go.
Heat critical.
There you go. Just stop moving. All right, he's pretty much stopped. That's weird. I told him to stop moving, and he stopped moving. All right. So the AI was doing well up until this point. I'm wondering if that's like the edge. I don't know. That's weird.
Critical.
Let's just go ahead and finish this.
That's the last
All right.
Commander.
Everything up to that point was actually really good. That made that the hardest
A new Merc
I've seen.
outfit is
I'm
already on
intrigued
its
to
way
play
secure
this
the
entire
site.
campaign. I need to update the AI.
I'm coming to
But
pick you up.
again, initial, you saw the spider in the last mission.
Commander. Just
You
wanted to
saw
say thank you for
that
the rescue.
Griffin kiting me with a PPC and LRM. See, I wonder if the prominent, like if you had a PPC, LRM, and like a few mediums, if it would try to get within range. I feel like it should ignore that and only use them if needed, and it still should focus on the long range gameplay.
Just wish we
But those are the type of behavior trees that the author of this AI mod really needs to think about is, you know, it's not like they can build based off of the chassis. It's not like chassis are unique or have unique abilities or capabilities other than just the weapons that are equipped on them, right? So until we get that quirk sort of system that PGI was talking about, really the weapons will determine, you know, the player behavior. Is it the weapons, or should it be based on the mech? And that's where it's intriguing, right? And that's a really good example of a mod really changing a mission to make it much more difficult than it was before. Now, if you missed that conversation, by the way, we picked up that General Pilot, his mech as well. Let's go ahead and take a look here. We're gonna pick up the 4 highest. All right, so we got burst fires. We did level up, and here's the skill system that I was talking about. And I don't really know how I feel about this. On one hand, like, I get it, right? But on the other hand, I don't understand how a laser would do more. With my experience, an ER, you know, like a medium laser should just do X damage. I get what they're trying to do here, right? but I feel like the skills, like the increased chance of avoiding fire. Well, what does that do behind the scenes? Is that like a percentage? If you do get shot, maybe it doesn't do full damage. You also have heat, reduces chance of overheating. I like that. Obviously, a skilled pilot, that's a good skill. While increasing equipment cooldown times, I don't know how I feel about that. That basically means, as far as my understanding, your weapons cooldown, and then reduces the amount of damage taken under fire. I would actually like to see this changed. I get where they're trying to come from, but if I shoot an AC-20 at a Locust and I hit a Locust, and just because that Locust pilot is an elite, why is it changing the damage of an AC-20 down just because he's elite? If anything, it's not like he's got magic. And those are the type of things, like, I get where they're coming from, but I would like to see modders and or PGI really redo that sort of the skills, if you will, and make them more coherent with, you know, reality other than just magic lasers do more damage, right? All right, here we go. Major Rihanna Campbell. That was some fight, Commander, and I see you've also managed to pick up a new pilot. Nice work. I mean, another pilot aboard will certainly help our cause. He's a bit worse for wear at the moment, but that's not surprising, especially considering what he's been through. Don't worry, though. I'll make sure he gets settled in. As for the dig site, it's been secured, and newly arrived reinforcements should ensure its continued protection. When you've had a chance to clean up, come see me on the bridge. We need to talk about the future. Now, this is actually a cool image, but the one thing that just sort of gets me is I wish this would have been his picture down here, especially in the missions. I wish I'd have heard it in his voice, right? He's on, like, he's in this Jenner, is, you know, fighting for his life. Maybe his Jenner could have been beat up a little bit too. I felt like it being pristine, and just the desperation in his voice and his just his thankfulness that you know, saved his ass, and that, like, he's like, hell yeah, I'll join you, you know. I wish that's the type of storytelling I would love to have seen. I wanted to see this. I wanted to hear this in the mission. Instead, all you basically get is waves, right? And there's no reason or rhyme. The tanks just come right up instead of using range. Obviously, the mech did, right? But that's what I want, is just more depth and substance there. And they have the imagery here. I just didn't believe it. I didn't believe this was the last man standing, right? I didn't believe that we were holding the line, and if we didn't, you know, things would have been rough. Anyways, let's go ahead and claim here. A lot of damage here. Yeah, no internal damage. That's when you start seeing the scaffolding. Another thing I've never really liked, and this actually goes to MWO, is the damage texture to me. Mechs aren't supposed to be shiny. I really not like that. And then the damage texture, it's like a specular gloss. It's just, to me, does that look nice? Is that just me? I've never liked it. I think it looks fugly. But we got a new mech, so I'm happy about that. And of course, we have a new pilot as well, the Jenner. And in this case, let's go ahead and go to battle mechs. Hey, he's got no damage here. Let's go ahead and repair here. And then we'll take a look at the Jenner really quick. This is pretty straightforward. This particular mech, 2 or 4 medium lasers, an SRM, and jump jets. Unfortunately, there's really not a whole lot you can do here. I generally take the SRM off because I'd rather up armor. If you don't, the armor here is significantly less than it should be, and that's actually because MWO reduced the armor on the arms of the Jenner, Cicada, Jaeger mech, and Stalker because they were smaller physical geometry, so they'd rather save tonnage and put it in the left-right torso to help with, like, XL engines and so forth and so on. The problem is all those mechs rely on their arm-mounted weapons, and as soon as these get shivved off, which again in this game they do, so I really wish PGI would fix that alteration they did to MWO and not transfer it over to Mechwarrior 5. And if not, modders, let's get to fixing that. Another big thing is, of course, the Mech Lab. As I mentioned, there's already a Mech Lab mod out there, but it is not compatible with my other stuff. Navid is working on a Mech Lab, and I'm really excited. We've been talking about it, but that is it for this mission, Last Man Standing. We got through it pretty basic. Like I said, unfortunately, it has some attributes like the turrets. Never going to see those again where you power them up. Mech Lab, you will see that on the last mission of the playthrough, spoiler alert. And that's it. You never see Mech Labs. You never see supply crates. You never see ECM or jamming or anything like that again. So it's little details like that that I wish we had in other quests, in other missions, and to be dynamic. And really, I guess that's all I'm asking in that regard, is I feel like there's a lot of untapped potential. How do you guys feel about that? Do you feel the same way? I feel like co-op, there's so many cool options they can do, right? We just need to hear about it. I feel like co-op is really, for me, playing online co-op, I just feel like that'd be really cool. Anyways, guys, this has been another Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries playthrough with mods. This was Last Man Standing. Did you enjoy this video? If so, make sure to like, subscribe to the channel or if you haven't done so already. I'll have a link down below to catch me live on Twitch. Where I stream every single day, Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Sometimes I do, but Monday through Friday, I stream 1 to 5, minimum to 5 p.m. Eastern. If you'd like to join me, twitch.tv/NGNGTV. We have a great time there. We played some XCOM 2 earlier today. If you want to catch this game live, that is on Wednesdays. And of course, Mech World Line is on Mondays and Battletech is on Fridays. As soon as we wrap up XCOM 2, we'll be moving on maybe to the next XCOM game as well. But anyways, I'm looking forward to this. Get some paint on the Jenner here. I think we can do that really quick. Make sure, yep, paint. Let's get the, yeah, there we go. That. Hold on, we got the wrong one. This is YouTube. Okay, there we go. Steina. We got to make them different, right? Oh yeah, that looks better. That looks good. God, the mechs look so good at their certain scale. If only like the characters look that good. Looking at you, Fahad. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it. Don't forget, again, to head over to Nexus, give these mods a download. I'll have a link for all of them down below. Make sure to endorse those, leave comments. If you run into any bugs, the modders are great at fixing them. I will see you guys on the next episode. Until next time.